Time for me to act like a psychopathic lunatic. Some people don't believe that I can get ignorant.
I'ma cock my nine and I'ma mother. I'ma cock my nine and
Time for me to act like a psychopathic lunatic. Some people don't believe that I can get ignorant.
I'ma cock my nine and
Time for me to act like a psychopathic lunatic. Some people don't believe that I can get ignorant.
I'ma cock my nine and mother. I'ma cock my nine and
Welcome back to Contest to Speed.
Contest of speed.
Contest of speed.
Contest of speed.
Hello, everybody, and good evening. Welcome to Contest of Speed for the season finale here in AM3 Championship of Season 14. We are here in the Yas Marina circuit for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. This track is 4.2 kilometers or 3.2 mile circuit with 16 turns and 2 DRS zones. This track is mainly going to be kind of a mid high downforce track, even though it says low on the circuit information here in this overlay. I would say it's a medium to high downforce track and pretty high tire wear as well. So yeah, you got to be mindful of that. And yeah, top speeds reaching about 322 kilometers. So yeah, it will be interesting to see how these drivers do in this circuit. As for the teams and drivers championship, we can see Katya has already sorry, I think I have the wrong overlay maybe. Yeah, oops, I might have had the wrong overlay, but Katya has secured the drivers championship, but it is the constructors that are going to be interesting. 20 points separate the V-Carb and the Ferraris. So we'll be interested to see who eventually comes out on top. Can Widjay and Tin Mandarowdy close up that gap? That will be interesting to see. With that said, I am Red Devil, and I am joined by Mr. Fragley. Hey, Frag, how you doing? Hello, Frag. Can you hear us?
Oh, can you hear me now? I
Yep.
was muted.
Yeah, we can.
I said I'm really excited for it. Excited to see what these drivers are able to do, especially see where that Constructors Championship is going to go tonight. we'll see if the Ferraris can pull out. They've definitely been both fast this season, so we're going to see what's going to happen tonight.
Yeah, will be interesting. By the way, predictions are up, ladies and gentlemen. If you like to get some bets going in, uh, we'll get started with qualifying here. McCrib is, I don't know who's the first one out, honestly. We'll do a little bit of, yeah, I think it's probably Sweens. Traditionally, he's usually the first one out on track, so we'll go on board with him going through Sector 1, or in Sector 2, rather. Let's see here. He's going through the middle sector. Not sure what his times were. We'll see what his middle sector split is, anyway. Coming up into the middle sector, 53.9. So decent amount of, I think that's shaping up to be a good lap here for Sweens. 25% still left on the ERS, so should be a fairly good one. Coming through the very tricky Sector 3 here. Gotta be able to really navigate the section smoothly and not invalidate. Very easy to invalidate. Also to lose the back end as well, so. Goes down to third gear for the final corner, third 16. Coming up to the line of 125.2 for Sweens.
Yeah, pretty quick for Sweens on the first lap, so a 125 I feel like is a pretty decent track, and as we say that, we've got a 124.1 with Serrazzle taking provisional pole.
Gustavo suddenly, I don't know why, was disqualified from the session, so not sure what happened there. As Krev is about to cross the line, I think he's about to start a lap. We'll go on board with somebody else here. We'll go on board with ASAP Logi coming through the final sector. And he goes wide and validates. McGrib possibly the next to cross the line here in the Williams. 125.3 P5.
We had Mr. Boy follow behind at a 125.7 in P6. And I knew while we were talking, M1K actually took provisional pole with a 123.88. So already putting some fast times up for the track today. There's a lot of room for these drivers to prove.
Let's see what Rob's boys who's the furthest out on track. Andre is about to cross the line. 126.2. Last in everyone who set a time here for Andre. He'll be looking to improve. Beige has invalidated. Katya, I believe, is also on a flyer here. Going through the middle sector. In front of Matthew Roach, I think, in the Red Bull. Or was it Beige? I think Matthew Roach. Gave a little bit of a slipstream there for the RB, so that might help out the champion. Season 14 champion Katya is confirmed.
Look around and see who we've got going around track right now. We got a lot of cars making their way around, putting up some times. I did just see, it looks like Serrazzle might have put up a purple first sector in that, in his hot lap right now.
We'll go back on board as we're about to finish Katya's lap, coming into Sector 3, turns 13, 14. Pretty good final section there for the champion. We'll see how they do coming across turn 16 there. Pretty good final corner coming across the line. A 24.3. So not bad at all.
Go on. Not a bad lap at all. And I feel like there's definitely a lot more time for Katya to make up there.
Yep, for sure. As Razzle is just 200s up on their time now. So not sure if it is because of the ERS or is it just due to tire wear, because it's so high on this track, but we'll see what their time is coming across to the final sector. They do decide to abort the lap though, going back into the pits. Who else is on a hot lap? Let's go on board with Tin Man. Really important qualifying for him and his teammate with Jay, if they are to fight for that constructor's title. 20 points adrift of RB. Katya is in P4, Sweens is in P6. The Ferraris really need to show their pace tonight to be able to catch them. Aston Mandarati is your first Ferrari across the line. 24.8. So that is P6, just above Sweens in the RB, but below Katya.
Yeah, still pretty close for these Ferraris. We still got to see. It looks like Witche is still yet to put up a time for those Ferraris, and it looks like they might be about to start their hot lap. So interested to see what some of them are going to be able to do as well, and see if they're going to be able to put up a fight against that V-carb.
As we were talking, ASAP Loggy actually splits the Ferrari and the V-carb there at 24.9 in the Mercedes. Speedy Bullet, who took a surprise pole position after one shot qualifying last week, is just slowly making his way out of the pits. Go on board with Jay here. Do you want to take us through this lap there, Frag?
Yeah, it looks like, if I could be wrong, but it looks like there might have just been a purple sector for Witche in Sector 1 as they're coming on the main straight in Sector 2 into this real heavy braking zone. Real heavy, like easy to lose control, but keeping it real tight, real fast through this corner. Kind of coming up onto the next DRS straight, maxing out at, looks like they're going 190, 195 miles an hour down this straight, and it's going to be another heavy braking zone. Into the final sector, we're going into Sector 3 right now, and like we were saying, this is a tricky sector just to keep it tight and keep it clean through the sector. Which looks like they're doing a pretty impressive job of keeping the car clean and close to those walls, trying to maximize that time. So looks like they're going to be finishing up, coming around into the final corner. And it looks like Witche is going to be putting up a 124.2, taking them all the way up to P4, which is ahead of Katya in P5.
I definitely feel like they have a lot of time, especially in that final sector, because it didn't look particularly great. But yeah, let's see. Looking at the fastest sectors here, M1K has the fastest first and third. Srazzle has the fastest second. It could be down to more straight line speed or the usage of ERS, but Srazzle's clearly showing some pace in the straights.
Yeah, definitely with these long straights, that's going to help out, gaining a little bit of time. And still looked like he was able to manage through those corners, so maybe it is a setup difference between some of these drivers, but we'll have to come see when it comes to the real race pace.
Oh, as Speedy Bullet has left the session, if you can please invite him. We got Beige coming out. Let's go on board with VSC Paul and Hal. He's coming up through the third sector. Wasn't sure what his first and second sector was, but coming across the line, or the final corner here, turn 16, cross the line. It's going to be a 124.8, P7. Not a bad lap from the McLaren there. Not too shabby.
Yeah, it looks like we got a lot of these drivers in that 124 range. A lot of time to make up through some of these corners for these drivers, because it is real hard in that sector kind of 3 of just keeping it clean. So we'll see who's really going to be able to like maximize those corners. Looks like we got Speedy back, so he'll be able to put up a time hopefully.
That's good. As Rob's boy is possibly he's on a hot lap, 10th faster as Razzle goes 23.509, beats the prediction that was set. So congratulations on anybody who bet the under. Rob's boy coming across to turn 15 and now 16. Not the best of exits there, but enough for P11. 24.6, sorry. It's probably Swede starting a hot lap. Shirazo.
Hysteria, I believe, on a hot lap as well.
Oh, we'll go on board with Hysteria here. Let's see. What can we show? Straight line speed of Hysteria going into the second detection or second sector, end of second sector, almost reaching 320 kilometers. says they got purple middle sector, so not sure if that's a true purple or not, but Hysteria does seem to be on a really good lap at the moment. Coming through the middle or the final sector. Gets a little loose and a little wide there coming out of that corner, but not too bad. Can't tell if they took the or hit the apex or not, but across the line, 24.0 P3 for the Haas reserve. A good lap.
It was a very good lap, especially in that second sector. It looks like that straight line speed is super important to be able to keep that pace up. So great lap by Hysteria.
Yep, for sure. As look at ASAP Loggy, he looks like he is a bit up on his time, so we'll go on board with the Mercedes. Let's see if he can challenge for that pole position. Coming across the line here, it's going to be a 123.8 P2. Not a bad lap at all. Katya's behind, coming across in the second sector. Paul in Hell, oh, unfortunately, had a moment in Sector 3. Lost all the time he gained. Unfortunate for the McLaren. Go back to Katya. Let's see if she can challenge for that pole position coming into this very tricky third sector. Final race. Maybe will they, take a chill a little bit, just see where it goes as they decide to go into the pits. P7 probably would be the lowest they've qualified all season, to be honest. Matthew.
I think if I remember probably.
Yeah, I've never seen Katya on P7. We had top 3, top 4 most of the times, but Matthew Roach coming across the line, a 24.1 P5 for the Red Bull. Let's see, Tin Man the Rowdy next to cross the line here in the Ferrari. Coming across the line, it's going to be a 24.2 P7 alongside his teammate with Jay. But crucially, ahead of both the V cars, though.
Yeah, it's going to be important for that championship, so hopefully they're going to be able to maintain that. And then if they can start together, we'll see if maybe they try to work together just to try to maximize everything out of this race, since they'll be kind of starting next to each other. But we'll see if that ends up actually being their place at the end of this race. I believe there's a lot of drivers with a lot of time to make up.
As we have Krev Ham next to cross the line. He's on the hard tires. That's pretty interesting. You probably want to save the set of hards for the race, but I don't know. Maybe just, doing a little bit of practice there maybe for Krev. Not too sure. It's a very interesting approach. Go on board with the Beige, 27.8 for him. Speedy Bullet still out in the garage, not electing to come out just yet.
This was waiting for the track to be at the perfect temperature for them to come out. Hopefully maybe they're going to try to avoid a little bit of traffic and head out sooner than later, but we're definitely kind of getting close to that time when they got to get out.
Yep. Rob's boy is possibly the only one about to start a hot lap. Let's see what his ERS levels are. Maybe not, as ASAP Loggy is disqualified for blocking the pit lane. So, and Rob's boy has left the session. If you can invite him again. So both Mercedes down at the bottom, both getting disqualified. Oh God, Jesus! Not what the Mercedes were looking for. As Razzle's on a... We'll go on board with Razzle. Currently sits in pole position with a 23.5. Let's see what he can do as McRib has retired. I think coming out of the pits, I'm not too sure. We'll go on board. We'll just stay on and watch the kick sabber here. Going into Sector 2 split. It is going to be a 53 or 52.9, a tenth and a half up on his time, or close to a tenth and a half at least. coming up into the all crucial final sector. You could lose so much time here or gain so much depending on how you take these set of corners. Goes wide and gets a good entry into that corner, coming into the final couple of corners now. Coming up into turn 16. Good apex coming across the line. It's going to be a 23-2-4-4. Extends his pole position by 6/10 now.
Yeah, that's just a fast lap, keeping it clean through all sector 3. That was pretty impressive. We'll see if any of these other drivers are able to get to that, but a lot of these drivers are almost a second off of that full time. So we'll see if like with Jay or any of the other drivers may be able to. Actually, they may not even be able to get across the line. They're not even on their hot laps.
Mr. Bo just completed his hot lap, 25.0. Let's see where Katya is doing. Half a second up on as Rob's boy has left the session again. If you can please invite them again. As Katya could be looking at a P3 start here. Everybody else ahead, apart from M1K and Surazzle, have completed. And it's P2 actually for Katya, 23.6. Does M1K have any sort of response? 23, or actually is down on their time in the first sector, but not by a lot. With J's qualifying is over. So is Tin Man's. So is, who's that? Matthew Roach. So I think M1K is the only challenger, but he's not currently improving though, or is just barely improving. Let's see here, coming across the final sector, will he be able to find at least 2.5 tenths to go to the front row, or possibly 6 tenths to actually get that pole position? Could be difficult, but we'll see. Speedy Bullet doesn't set a time, unfortunately, as M1K coming across the line. It's going to be a 23.4. Good enough for P2, 2 tenths off of Surazzle, and that is possibly the end of qualifying.
Yeah, that was a great quality. I feel like a lot of drivers in that 124 range. Big fight going to be between that whole midfield. I feel like with most of the grid in that 124. It'll be interesting to see kind of what happens with this Ferrari and the V-carb fight. With Katya already being in P3, we'll see what they're able to do, if they can maximize anything out of it, or what will happen.
Yep, for sure. Would be interesting though, because the two Ferraris they do need to finish ahead of Katya and close that 20-point gap, but we'll see how it goes as we go through the final qualifying order for season 14 here. It's Razzle in P1 with M1K in P2, Katya in P3, Hysteria in P4, Matthew Roach in 5, Witchy in 6, Tin Man 7, Sweens 8, Mr. Bo 9, McRib 10, Rob's Boy 11, Paul and Hell 12, Entree 13, Prep 14, Beige 15, Speedy Bullet not setting a time in 16, and ASAP Loggy and Gustavo, both the Mercedes, disqualified in qualifying.
I think that should lead to quite an exciting race today.
Hopefully these guys take some time with their strategies and don't hit the start button immediately. What strategy are you looking for tonight here from these drivers? Anyone dare to go on those soft tires, C5s, or do you think it's just going to be between the mediums and the hards?
I think we're mainly going to see mediums and hards. I think if you get a safety car at some point in the race, that always change everything up, kind of dependent on where that is, but I would expect to usually probably just see that medium to hard. But I could imagine some of these drivers might want to come out fast, so maybe they'll try something different with the soft if everyone's going to start on a medium or hard to try to get that extra little bit of speed, but we'll see.
Yep. Let's see if I can quickly start a prediction. Oh no, I could not, as these drivers are readied up. So spoiler lights, and away we go for the last time here in AM3. Good start from Surazzle. So does M1K. Top 4 getting away quite well. Swedes actually making up a lot of positions up into P6. Matthew actually, no, it was somebody else, sorry. There's a, yeah, Rob's boy is not able to join the session, unfortunately, and he's down in P11. Top 4 or 5, getting a good start here. Everybody single file. Hysteria, good start from Hysteria. Sweens looking to send it on the Ferraris. The Ferraris battling the V-carb. Oh, Widjay's around! Widjay's around!
Oh no.
Ah, he's down in the bottom now. Oh, unfortunate for the Ferrari, for that battle for the championship. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. Tin Man actually losing a lot of time, 2.5 seconds now with drift.
Yeah, it looks like that top 5 is kind of pulling away with that. Second group starting at P6, so Tim Man, the Rowdy, is going to be under a ton of pressure right here. And Widjay is going to need the racing of his life.
Oh, the Red Bull sending it on the Haas right there. But the Haas defends quite well. Well, let's see here. Top 3 still, you know, going at it. Hysteria dropping backs ever so slightly. Yeah, we got Tin Man up until like Widjay. Everybody's still in that DRS, so it's quite wonderful to see. Hysteria, if they can just get into the DRS at the top 2, they'll be crucial. As M1K moves into P1.
Yeah, as we see the Red Bull taking Hysteria into that corner right there as well. And we'll see if that fighting in the top 3, because they are all so close together, we'll see if that can slow them down and give Hysteria and Matthew Rhodes a chance to possibly catch up a little and get within that DRS.
To be honest, though, it's actually Sweens who's catching the pack up at the front. They were about 2.5 seconds adrift. Now it's down to 2. I think all that fighting between Matthew and Hysteria has actually cost them time, unfortunately. Top 3 still going at it. Let's actually take a look at the tires graphic here. Everybody on the mediums except Tin Man the Rowdy in P7 on the hard tire. Which kind of explains why he was slow off the start of the race.
It'll be interesting to see how that ends up working for Tin Man, if he's going to be able to just ride it out a little bit longer in these hard. We'll see which tire is better on this track, but very interesting choice.
Yeah, for sure. M1K still the leader. Matthew Rhodes still. Oh, ASAP Loggy actually going to the pits. Not sure if there was any damage though. As Razzle takes the lead of the race. As Katya as well, actually. Both of them moving up a few positions.
Yeah, there's going to be a ton of overtakes in that straight right there. As we're seeing Razzle come out at some of those corners a little bit on the line. His back tires are slipping a little bit, so this DRS is going to be super important for these drivers to keep in, as we see on those straights. And we see Tim Man is fighting also, going wheel to wheel right now with the Ferrari. Tim Man, the Ferrari, and Swedes right now.
Good little battle here up in the midfield. And looks like Matthew and Hysteria have been able to catch the top 4. Hysteria actually losing a little bit of ground. Let's see if they have damage though. I'm curious. Okay, I can't see their tire info unfortunately, so I won't be able to tell. No visible damage on the car. They are slipping and sliding though. M1K, oh, what happened here between M1K and Matthew? They, looks like they've lost ground to everybody at the front. Between Katya and Surazo.
Yeah, very unfortunate in that corner. Maybe there's a ton of fighting going on between these drivers right now, so I know that's going to cause a lot of holdup as we see Matthew and M1K going wheel to wheel into that beginning of Sector 2 right now with M1K taking the lead on that Red Bull.
Yeah, he got, I think Matthew went on the curb a little bit and did lose a little bit of time. M1K is back in within that, oh, not sure what happened there. He given up the position to Matthew? Not sure what happened. Did he get loose there? Yeah.
I think he got a little loose, if I saw correctly, and just Matthew was able just to kind of overtake that and go. Just as Tin Man right now kind of pulling away from Sweens, battling out in that tricky section 3, and Tin Man really taking advantage of that.
Andre and Paul actually. Oh, as Razzle has left the session. Oh, that is unfortunate. Let's see if we can get him back in. Hopefully, for his sake, he doesn't lose a lot of time to Katsia there. Matthew back, not quite back in the DRS, but M1K looking to pounce on the Red Bull driver. He is able to hold off for now. Tin Man the Rowdy slowly catching up though, as Razzle has joined in time, so hopefully he doesn't lose a lot of time if he can take control of his car through the next couple of corners. Let's see when he gets control of his car here. Hopefully he's not right in the middle of a corner. That would that would be horrible. But looks like
right in the middle of a corner, he got joined.
But he did not lose too much. Oh, as M1K and Matthew were battling it out. Oh, that is interesting. As M1K actually going into the pits. Early pit stop.
Damage there.
I don't see anything on his card though. Maybe tactical? Hards do go or do last pretty long. Doesn't seem to have changed anything on his wing. So he'll be coming out way down in P16. Or maybe 17. I don't know if Krev is going to be ahead of him. Maybe, possibly. Oh, as VSC Paul in Hell has had a moment. And he's now back. And Sector 1 yellows. No safety car.
Major broken wing.
Yep, no right end plate, and he needs to go into the pits, unfortunately. Let's see, going back, actually Matthew and Hysteria have lost ground to Katsia and Razzle. Katsia and Razzle. Oh, wait, what? Oh, looks like Krev had a moment here, and unfortunate for him. ASAP Logi is closing in. Let's see if the top guys pit. Do you think M1K pitting would cause? Well, I guess not. Katsia and Razzle do decide to continue. So does Matthew. So does Hysteria. Tin Man the Rowdy is actually closing in on those hard tires to this battle.
I could see the mediums starting to maybe get a little bit slippery on this track, but 7 might be a little too early, and AM disqualified?
No,
or did not finish. What
no,
happened? Safety car.
Yeah, no, he was out, so safety car, and that is unfortunate for M1K because he's already pit, and yeah, I guess some of these drivers now can go into the pits. Looks like VSC Paul in Hell will be the first. A good chance for him to replace that wing. A drive-through for Hysteria. Ah, that is unfortunate.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. But yeah, I think we're going to expect to probably see all of these drivers move on to that hard tire. Yeah, a little unfortunate for those top 2 as well, because they were pulling probably 2.5 seconds away from the rest of the grid, so this is going to bunch up everybody again. But these drivers have been just wheel-to-wheel fighting this whole time, so we'll see kind of what happens, where the packs split between some of these drivers like last time.
But what would you do if you were Tin Man now? Because you started in the hards, only 7 laps, If you get the mediums on right now, they probably not go till the end of the race. 20 laps on them, or 19, 18, whatever. That's gonna be a tall order for a drive-through for M1K. No, oh God, that is unfortunate. No,
So unfortunate.
that is gone bad towards. Yeah, like I said, Tin Man's ready. He's not pitting. So yeah.
No. If I was Tim, I mean, you gotta make those tires last now with those hards, because the rest of these drivers will not be pitting, and they're gonna be on fresh hards right behind him. So
Mr.
it's
Bo
a
actually.
little unfortunate.
Mr. Bo actually also doesn't pit on those mediums though. Gustavo. Oh, no wait. Gustavo P3. Has he been into the pits before though? Let's see.
I don't think Gustavo is, because he's on 7-lap mediums.
Yeah, tire age. It's a good indicator now. So top 3 are in 7-lap old tires, as well as Beige in P7. Behind his teammate. 2-lap old hards for M1K with the drive-through. ASAP Loggy on 5-lap old hards, and Paul and Hell with 1-lap old hards. I understand Tin Man not pitting, but I don't get what Mr. Bo and Gustavo are going for. And Beige, I think they're possibly thinking there's going to be another safety car. That's got to be
their only hope at this point.
Yeah, because, well, if they pit, maybe at like lap 15 or lap 12, 13, whatever, they're going to come out way behind and not being for a shot with the points. But maybe they know that they don't have a shot at the points traditional way by pitting, so they're just maybe gambling. Because remember, Gustavo started last after the drive-through, and Mr. Bo is also down in the bottom half of the grid, I think. So, all in all, it might not be the worst. So you see, Gustavo has gained 15 positions. Mr. Bo has gained 7. So he started like 9th or 10th maybe, I think. So not sure. Maybe he would have been in the points.
Yeah, we'll just have to see how this strategy works out for both of them. I mean, there's definitely still a possibility with how this all ends up going, but they're going to be fighting on those old medium tires, I think, with those fresh hards right behind them. I think once you get these hards heated up, those tires are going to be quick for these drivers.
Yep.
But luckily, though, this track is, I think, a very wide track. So it does allow for real good wheel-to-wheel battling, and hopefully these drivers can keep it clean for the rest of the race, which would be kind of not the best idea for some of these drivers, but we'll see kind of how this happens.
Completely forgot the safety car overlay. Apologies. But I'm actually looking at the tire wear, and Tin Man has about 11 on the fronts and 12 on the rears. Mr. Bo has 16 on the fronts and 27 on the rears. Gustavo has 11 on the fronts and 18 on the rears, which isn't too bad, but it's not too great because they're going to fall off a cliff after one lap, I think. They're not going to be optimal. I don't think Mr. Bo's tires are going to be anywhere near optimal in the safety car restart. Tin Man the Rowdy should be kind of okay, but I'd expect Razzle and Katya and Hysteria and Matthew to catch up pretty quick. But
yeah, we're going to have to see what his start for the safety car is. And he's going to have a pretty good one to keep some of these drivers behind. But once that DRS gets started, it's tough on these main straights.
Yep.
But it does look like safety car coming in this lap.
Yep. As we remember, we also have 2 drivers with the drive-through. Drivers in P7 and P8, Hysteria and M1K. So it will be interesting to see where they come out.
Let's see how he starts this race. I know it's always tough to figure out the right time to take off and slow down and push all these drivers back. So we'll see how much he can optimize this final corner and really take off once this lap starts.
Yeah, I think it's going to be crucial for Tin Man, but I think, going into the final corner, I think he got a good, he's not jumped yet, so, and drivers are colliding there. Oh, chaos at the back. Not sure, but the M1K is actually up into P4. Katya actually losing out to P7, and Razzle as well. M1K really benefiting from that. Does Razzle have any damage? No. Doesn't look like it, so should be good.
They might have just caught up in that weird breaking point. But I believe Katya and Sarazel will probably find their way back up to the front of that field pretty fast, if I'm going to have to take my guess. As we can see, Matthew Roach overtaking M1K for P3 right now, but so many drivers taking that corner. A little contact between that Red Bull and Alpine, but very close driving right now.
Yeah, it's a narrow corner, so I would assume there was a little bit of contact there, but nothing too bad, I think. M1K in P5. Matthew Roach actually could be in pole position now for the victory, as he's the furthest who hasn't pitted, and a big send down the inside completes the move up into P2. Now he has only Tin Man the Rowdy up in front of him on those old hard tires, as M1K goes into the pits to serve his drive-through. DRS is enabled.
This happened.
Mr. Bo actually holding up Sarazel and Katya, so it is Matthew's chance here to really push for that lead and make up that position.
Yeah, but these two, they're kind of rolling away right now, and that's going to be their best hope right now with Mr. Bo holding up Sarazel and Katya, but that will not be too much longer with DRS being enabled this lap, and Sarazel and Katya are right behind him. As we can see, Sarazel taking that P3 position and Katya taking P4, even Mr. Bo at P5.
Yeah, I think Katya and Sarazel probably might have to work together a little bit to catch up the front two here, especially Matthew. But yeah, we'll see how it goes as Katya makes the move on Sarazel up into P3 now. Purple middle sector as well. Let's see the fastest lap. M1K has the fastest lap, but Katya the fastest in sector 1 and sector 2, and ASAP Logi actually fastest in sector 3. I believe ASAP Logi's actually gone on to the soft tires after pitting. And Tin Man now is officially out of that DRS from Matthew.
And they've got Katya and Sarazel fighting right behind in those positions. So Katya putting up the fastest lap at a 1:26.5. So they are coming in. It looks like we got a lot of different changes in the grid as well. Down in the midfield, lots of battles happening. We got a few drivers in the pits.
We got Speedy Bullet, showing his pace. Did start at the bottom by not setting a lap in qualifying. Now he's up into P7. I think he has Gustavo and Tin Man who haven't pitted yet, so that's essentially a net P5. Chasing down Woodjay, and who actually has made a good comeback after spinning in the first lap. He's up into P5. So we'll see how Speedy Bullet does. Katya now overtaking Tin Man. This could be Katya's chance to actually pull away from Sarazel though.
Looks like Sarazel's going to pass Tin Man now, and I think Tin Man's feeling those old tires compared to those newer hards right now. I don't know what the best bet would for him to be, just to hold up and see if he can try to fight with Katya or just keep within the DRS range, but it looks like Katya's already pulling away, looking to catch up to Matthew Roach right now.
Yeah, 2.5 seconds. Tin Man is out of that DRS, so Sarazel really needs to find that time real quick now to be able to work with Katya and get that position, or fight for that win. But he's just losing ton of time here behind him, Tin Man.
Probably take it in this DRS straight. It's always a bit frustrating when you gotta wait for it because you do lose a ton of time. But looks like these top three are gonna be putting up quite a good race.
Entree.
Sarazel is
Entree spinning at the
that
back
in the
here. Yeah. But he's able to catch that car though, down into P10 actually. As Razzle now is up into P3. Katya is slowly but surely gaining that time on Matthew Roach. It was about 2 point something seconds. Now it's down to 1.8. Another 1.6 second gap to Razzle as well in P3. Speedy Bullet actually now is behind Witjay, up into P6, overtaking Gustavo there on that GRS straight. So he'll be looking to pass Witjay and Tin Man quickly if he wants any chance or a shot at that victory.
Looks like he's been also saving up his ERS. He's about at 95% right now, so I think he's about to go on attack on Witjay to take that position. And Katya with the fastest lap again with a 126.4.
Yeah, that sheer consistency and pace showing again for Katya here, as she is now within that 1 second. Razzle actually is now out with almost 2 seconds of a gap. We'll see if Witjay can actually catch his teammate and get a DRS from him, but at the moment looks like Speedy is going to be able to take that position and move himself up into the top 5. Easy pass there for the Alpine. 1.2 seconds behind Witjay now. Tin Man now. He will be looking to close on the Ferrari man as soon as possible. Katya now all over the back of Matthew. This is Razzle's best chance. If the Red Bull is holding Katya up, then Razzle can catch up within, especially in this final sector where it's so easy to gain so much time or lose a ton of time as well. He is gaining 1.6 now, was actually 1.9. Speedy also all over the back of the Ferrari of Tin Man now. Let's see, I think he'll be able to pass the Ferrari there, going into the second sector. Razzle, very close, but does not get DRS. Sweens with a 3-second time penalty. Katya is going to get that lead of the race, I think, on this lap.
Defending quite well as it looks like they're going to go wheel to wheel into that corner, and Matthew's still holding that position.
Not sure if Katya got a little bit ghosted there, but nothing too bad. Ooh. But this has bought into Razzle.
Contact going between these Alpines and Ferraris right now with a very, very close fight, bumping wheel to wheel right now.
Speedy Bullet, actually Tin Man is now passed by his teammate Witjay, and Speedy is all under pressure from the Ferrari of Witjay. He did pass him pretty easily though, so maybe once he gets a little bit of clear air now, he'll be able to push and catch up to that top 3. He is 6.5 seconds adrift though, so maybe this is the best finish we can hope for the Alpine. Time is running out for Tin Man though. He really needs to pit. Unfortunately, it looks like with Katya leading, that championship, the Constructors, is looking highly unlikely. Matthew Roach, a 3-second time penalty. That is not the best news for the Red Bull. Razzle trying to make a move down the inside of the Red Bull. Red Bull brakes a little bit later and is able to hold position for now. But Razzle gets a really good exit though. Oh, Virgil safety car. Ooh. Virgil.
Ooh.
Not sure why though.
Either. I don't see anything. Oh, I see a Red Bull at the start.
Oh.
It looks like Beige had a little bit of a
yeah
right there.
Yeah, he went into the wall and looks like he has no front wing. So this possibly gives Tin Man the best opportunity to pit if he can get into that pit lane real quick. So long pit lane though, so with the tunnel and everything, you know, so might take longer than expected, actually.
Pretty quick general, so I wouldn't imagine too much time under that safety car, but this would probably be the best time. And it looks like Tim is going to be heading into the pit lane right now. Hopefully making the most out of this
VSC is ending, and sorry, Paul and Hell gets a 3 second, sorry, drive through. Speedy actually lost almost a second there to Widjay, or the top three actually, and Widjay is all over the back of the Alpine.
Roach also just took P1 over Katya, and they're fighting right now. Katya's back in P1 on that main straight. In Sector 2, they're both flying down, going to wheel to wheel.
Oh,
contact.
Let's see. Katya, did they get any damage now? It should be fine. All good. Matthew Roach. Still maintaining P1 over Surazo and Katya. Widjay actually making the move on Speedy. Tin Man coming down in P11. 3.5 seconds adrift of M1K. Hysteria also has had a terrible race. They've actually had to pit and go on the soft tires actually. So let's look at the tire age. Yeah, top 5 all on 9-lap old hard. Sorry, yeah, 9-lap old hards. Paul and Hell on 10-lap old hards, but he has that drive-through though, unfortunately.
Yeah, we see a lot of these drivers starting to hit that later part in the hard stint, and I mean, it looks like they got another 10 to go, so some of these drivers are going to really have to push this out unless we get another safety car. But it's going to be looking like these top 3 are just going to be holding out on these hard tires, especially with that 7.5 second gap between Surazo and Widjay.
As Mr. Bo, actually, we were talking about it before when the safety car came out. He did not choose to pit, but looks like he's done well. He's up in a P7 actually, 6 seconds behind his teammate, who is an AI, so he can definitely get that position over his teammate and should be P6. M1K though, yellow flag, sector 2. Yeah, I think it's pretty much cleared. I think it's the Red Bull, if I'm not mistaken, yeah. Oh, yeah, they're just not able to brake, unfortunately. And, yeah. With Jay and Speedy still fighting it out. Surazo actually has been able to make a move on Roach and is up into P2, so your initial top 2 are now the ones fighting for that win. Matthew still lingering right behind.
Yeah, this will be an important time for Razzle and Katya to maybe try to pull away from Matthew Rocher and see if they can be fighting for that P1, P2. But it looks like they're just going to be kind of within this DRS train, just kind of going position back and forth. As Razzle does take P1 over Katya, jumping right behind him to get to that, so we're going to gain no speed.
But Matthew wants to stay behind though. Speedy Bullet making the move on Widjay up into P4. Let's see if M1K is actually close enough to Rob. Sorry, Mr. Bo. No, actually, he's not. Does he have any kind of damage? Yeah, M1K actually has damage on his left end plate though. So unfortunately, he's not been able to make that position up quite easily. Matthew Roach, another 3-second time penalty, so that puts him up to 6 seconds now. Speedy Bullet is 8.7 adrift though. If Widjay and Speedy want to catch, they need to possibly, step it up a little bit if they want that podium spot. 10 laps to go, as we see in the leaderboard. Let's focus focus. Any other battles? ASAP Log and Sween's battling it out here. Down for, some, not points, but for some bragging rights here. Down in P15. 14, 4P14 rather. M1K goes into the pits, possibly to change that front weight. Yep, looks like it. Matthew Roach, though, has actually dropped out of that DRS. So the top two are away now. And Speedy is actually closing in. Speedy and Witjay. Witjay is actually dropping back a little bit. Maybe Speedy can now push with Roach out of that DRS. As Page retires in the pit lane. ASAP Loggy with the 3 seconds.
All these warnings coming in, they got to keep it clean through this track to be able to maximize all of it. Yeah, with Witjay and Speedy, it does look like Witjay's fallen a little bit behind, but still within that DRS, and they're in section 3 right now, so hopefully finishing up, and we'll be able to stay within that DRS, but Speedy is definitely looking fast right now and pulling away from Witjay, but we'll see if they're going to be able to maintain and get the DRS, or if Speedy's going to be able to kind of try to pull away as he does get into. Let's see what Witjay does. We're going back and forth so quick.
Yeah, but I think Speedy has enough of a gap to not get overtaken in this DRS zone. That gap is reducing though, 7.3 seconds now. And Matthew is actually dropping back. He's now out of that DRS, well out of that DRS, 2.6 seconds. So unfortunately for him, he's not looking like he's going to be getting or fighting for that win. But he might not even keep that P3, unfortunately. Let's see what warnings these guys are on. As Sweens gets a 3-second time penalty. Kotze is actually on 2 warnings. So he could play out well for Serazzle, who's on 0. Speedy and Witjay are also on 0. So you never know what can happen.
Yeah, that track warning one, it can be pretty sensitive sometimes in some of these corners, especially when you're like, oh, so close. Yeah, Kenya's definitely got to play that safe now. But both the Serazzle and Kenya are just kind of going back and forth with the DRS section. Really just pulling away from Matthew and Speedy and the rest of the group right now. Witjay still able, though, to be within the DRS range of Speedy. But it does look like Speedy is keeping a lot of ERS for these straights versus Witjay, who's only at a 25%. So we'll see if the ERS is just enough to keep Speedy in front. But they are definitely closing that gap little by little.
Yeah, it's now down to 6.6, so Speedy is definitely speeding. That's a bad pun. But but yeah, he's definitely making that or shrinking that gap towards Matthew there. So we'll just see that 6.4 seconds, 6.3 now. So he's slowly reducing that gap. So and with Speedy actually dragging Witjay along, this is going to help the Ferraris. The championship might be done, but it's still a good result, and might be a P4 in the cards here, or even a P3 if he can make the move on Speedy going into the final lap or something like that, because Speedy is now within that second now, 5.9. So these guys are looking good for that podium spot.
Yeah, they are looking pretty good to take from Matthew right now, because Speedy is catching up very, very quickly. Witjay still just in that back with that like 0.9, 0.8, 0.7 behind. Just not enough. We're not close enough to be able to kind of overtake the DRS rates, but we still got about 6 laps to go. So there might be quite a bit time or by the station ERS to try to catch up on the last lap, but we will definitely see.
Yep, top two still exchanging that DRS, you know. Not they're just pulling each other along and increasing that gap to Matthew here. Matthew unfortunately has no answer to them right now. Let's see. I can actually see Matthew's car info, unfortunately. So yeah, but Speedy's definitely catching. It's now under 5 seconds. So he's actually faster than Matthew right now by almost a second per lap. So yep, both of these guys will now finish ahead of the Red Bull. Tin Man the Rowdy actually is now behind Mr. Bo. Look at that. Sorry, what? No, go ahead.
I was gonna say Tim Man looks like he's got a ton of DRS saved up. Looks like he's gonna be looking to overtake Mr. Bo on this next DRS to put both the Ferraris in 5 and 6.
Yeah, he's definitely got the better tires at this stage. Mr. Bo is definitely not having best of time, especially on those rears. The fronts are the same, but the rears actually there's a 7% difference right now, which will eventually, they'll probably even out in about 2 or 3 laps because Tin Man is on the mediums. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes with these guys. Speedy now, just
Driving
4
on the
seconds.
inside
Sorry.
and making the move on Mr. Boy, just diving on the inside at the end of the DRS straight.
Can he reply though, Mr. Bo, with that DRS open? Is possibly a little too far back, but he can still get some good points if he or gain position if he's able to stick behind the Ferrari and then make the move on the last 2 laps. As there's 5 laps to go, leaders crossing the line or the start-finish straight. Speedy Bullet closing lap on lap, now 4.3 seconds. Gap to Matthew. But of course, these guys, P6 and everyone down below, are considerably behind the top 5. Mr. Bo's trying to stay within that DRS. He is 8 tenths out. Maybe if he uses that little bit of battery here, he can stay behind the Ferrari. And I think he will get the DRS going into the first DRS zone. Yep. Looks like that rear wing is going to open. But he's a little bit too far back, so let's go back to Speedy and Woodjay. These guys are still fighting it out. Speedy in P4, closing all the time to Matthew now, only 3.4 seconds, with 4 laps to go after this one. Actually, Mr. Bo making the move on Tin Man, a fantastic move down the inside, and is now up into P6.
It's a move by there, keeping both those Ferraris split, but they're definitely Tim Man's on that mission to go get that P6 right now. So we'll see if they're going to be able to do it as Tim Man is also just so much DRS, 100% saved right now. Maybe that's allowing why Mr. Boy is able to pass, but we'll see if they're going to be able to keep it up in the last 3 laps. And again, Katya overtaking Sarazzle for P1.
And I think Sarazzle is just going to pass Katya here in this there, so back up into P1. Will be interesting to see what they do in the final few laps, though. Like, yeah, now it's all good. You know, they're the only two who has the possibility of winning this race, unless something happens to either or both of them. You know, do you stay behind for the next 2 laps and then go for it in the last lap, or you know, you just keep doing this and yeah. it's going to be an interesting choice of what these drivers choose to do.
Yeah, it will be interesting. I feel like Katya, with being just right behind in that DRS speed, they're going to be able to overtake. And so if this is really going to come down to that final lap, if I'm doing it correctly, it seems like Sarazzle might have that luck a little bit towards that, but we'll see if they're going to be able to fight that out and if Katya's just going to stay behind or what they're going to do. It looked like she was going to try to go on the inside right there. Falling back a little bit behind Sarazzle at 0.8 seconds.
A moment for ASAP Logi not having a good race, down in P15. Sarazzle able to keep up that position.
I think Katya is going to try to hold back a little bit.
M1K, not M1K, Speedy Bullet is now all over the back of Matthew Roach. He's actually left with Jay a little bit behind, but he's not. He still should be gaining that position over Matthew. Matthew has had a lonely race for the past few laps, but he's easily. Oh, and he's Matthew sending it down the inside. Oh, that is just not how you do it. Yeah. Oh well, we'll see. Let's see if Speedy actually has some sort of damage. Yep, missing left end plate or damage on the left wing for Speedy. Yep. Not sure. We'll take a quick look at that replay though, because that wasn't the smartest move. As we have 2 laps to go, you can see there. Yeah. Going down the inside, Matthew trying to make that move stick, but there's just no room there. As we go up to the leaders again. Sarazzle maintaining that P1. Locks up a little bit actually. Goes wide. Maybe this is mind games to give Katya the lead of the race going into the last lap? Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, Katya's got full ERS and Sarazzle's got about 30-40%, so he's got to start saving. And if I was Sarazzle coming up to these final laps, yeah, I don't know if I want to be in P1 right now, as Speedy just overtakes Matthew Roach to P3. So damage on that left wing doesn't matter to Speedy. He's just ready to go take that P3.
Yeah, good move. I think I didn't catch it, but you know, as we got a spinning Mercedes there. We'll go on board with the top 2. Sarazzle still has that lead of the race. Final lap of the race now for the final time here in AM3 for season 14. Is it going to be Sarazzle who's going to win this race, or is it going to be another race victory for Katya, your champion for season 14? Matthew Roach, another 3-second time penalty. As we focus on the battle for the lead, Katya with that DRS open. Goes down the inside and completes that move for P1. But the main question is, can Sarazzle bounce back? But he goes a little bit wide though. He gets a terrible exit. And that is possibly it for this race. Unless he has a ton of battery, I don't think so. We'll go back to Speedy and the gang here. Speedy is ahead. Up into P3, 7/10 ahead.
Looks like Sarazzle's going to go for the overtake, and he takes P1.
Oh.
Going into the final corner, these 2 drivers.
Oh, not sure what happened. Did Katya have a moment though? As you have the, I'm not sure why. Is that Entree or is that Paulinel? I'm not sure, but they should definitely be slowing down there, not coming in the middle. But Sarazzle is their winner. Katya in P2. Looks like it's going to be Speedy in P3. And with Jay, another fine drive in P4. Matthew will finish in P5. A great drive from Speedy Bullet. I think my driver of the day was started in 16th, or I think, and up into that podium.
Yeah,
Ti-
what a race by Speedy. Making it all the way back up to the podium, starting at 16. I mean, way to take advantage of the safety cars and the virtual and really just put out the best race possible.
Yep, as Tin Man crosses the line in P6. Not quite sure that's enough for the Ferraris. Uh, Paul and Hell in 8th. Rob's Boys AI finishes in 9th. Mr. Bow in 10th. Gustavo in 10th. McRib in 11th. Possibly will get the P10 after. And Sweens in 12th. Unfortunate for the M1K with the damage, with the drive-through and everything. Finishes this season off only in P13, unfortunately for him. But, you know, new season is around the corner, and I hope for M1K's sake that he comes back fighting strong because he's such a good driver. We'll see. But that is your finishing order, ladies and gentlemen. Do you want to take us through the final finishing order for the last time here? As Surazzle does a flip and a fantastic celebration for him. Yep. Let's go through the final order. Now, shall we?
So for the final race of the season, Surazzle taking P1, followed by Katya at P2 and Speedy at P3 taking up the podium. Then followed behind at P4 is Witche, Matthew Roach at P5, Tim and Mirowdy at P6. At P7 we got Paul and Hell. P8 we got Rob's Boy, and 9 Mr. Bow, and then 10 to finish off the points we got Gustavo. Behind them we've got McRib, Sweens, and M1K to take 11 through 13. And then we've also got if I can scroll down. We've got Electric Entree in 14, Hysteria in 15, ASAP Loggy in 16, and Beige Rage and Krev Ham finishing us out at 17 and 18 for the season.
Yep. Good race. Final race of the season. It was pretty interesting. Championship wrapped up. There was only constructors, but with the 25 points. I think, they probably wrapped up the constructors as well. The Visa Cash App RB. Ferrari gave a good fight, P4 and P6, but just not enough, unfortunately, for them.
Close race for both of them. Great season, really, from all of these drivers, but just not quite enough to be able to catch that Vive Carb and those top constructors.
Yep. Let's actually try and see if we can get these guys into the interview booth. We'll just be back in a few short minutes for a final interview with these drivers. Hang on. See you in a few minutes.
Welcome back to Contest to Speed.
Contest to speed.
Contest to speed.
Contest of speed.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back for the interviews. We got Surazzle in P3, we got Katya in P2, and we got we got Speedy in P3, Katya in P2, and Surazzle winning the race. We'll go ahead and start off with our P3 finisher here for the final time in season 14, Speedy Bullet. Hey, Speedy Bullet, how you doing, man?
I'm doing better. I'm relieved for sure.
That was a fantastic drive. You were down in P16 in qualifying. I think you lagged out for a second. Came back in to the lobby. Didn't get to set a qualifying time. First of all, were you planning on doing like a last to first there, or was it just because of all these issues you couldn't get a lap on the board?
Nah, it wasn't no last to first. It was basically I just moved into my new apartment, so my internet is still getting used to stuff. So I've been having kind of trouble with in and outs and stuff. So it kind of messed me up with the first lap I went out, and then I thought I was out, but it disconnected me, and then I came back, and then I tried to go out again, and then I was like 7 seconds late. So
Ah,
it didn't play in my favor at all.
but it did play in your favor in the race, though. I know somebody said you had like a wing damage in the middle of the race. I know you had wing damage in the final bit of the race when battling the Red Bull. Just talk us through that a little bit. You were about 7.5 seconds behind from P3, but they had 6 seconds in penalties. You caught up. You and Woodjay caught up like so quickly to the Red Bull, and looked like there was a little bit of a bit of wheel banging going on there. Talk us through that moment.
So at the very beginning, first at lap one, soon we got off, soon we started off. I got wing damage, and I had to hold it. I had to maintain the wing damage most of the whole race because I couldn't pit. If I would have pit, it would have been race over. So thank you to my amazing engineer on the side, Mr. P. My dog. But if it wasn't for him, none of this would be happening off real. But yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot of keeping my head down and not trying to let the race get away from me. It was frustrating. It was very frustrating because there was a lot of carnage and stuff that I had to pass and
Hmm.
people brake checking me and all that. It was a lot of stuff, but that's racing. So I just had to keep my head down and try to make up what I could. It was good racing with Jay. It was fun. We had some. It was kind of physical, but we both did what we had to do, and we both came back in one piece. So it was fun.
Yeah, it was a great battle between you and Woodjay. It felt like yeah, you could do that for another 10 laps or so. So yeah, a great battle there with him. Did you at all fear that you possibly might lose P3 with that wing damage on the last 3 or 4 laps, or was it not too bad for you to drive?
Honestly, it was still green. It was my wing. I definitely checked. It was like the little tap. The little tap. It came. It popped up soon as it happened.
Hmm.
I was praying. I was like, oh my God, man, please don't let it like the damage be bad where I lose DRS from him. Please. But it wasn't that bad. I kept my head down. And was held in there. Happy. Blessed with peace P3. So.
Definitely. Do you think you would have possibly fought for that victory if you had a good qualifying there?
Oh, it would have been a movie. It would have been fun for sure. But congratulations to Sarazo. Congratulations to Katya on her championship and all that. So, but yeah,
Hmm.
it would have been fun. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, I gotta wait till next season, I guess. So.
Yeah, I mean, before I ask you another question about next season, Fragley, do you have any questions for a P3 finisher here?
Just for during that safety car restart, did you get any damage in that part of the race?
Safety car, no, because I already had damage coming from Like the safety car when I went into the pits, that's when I had to fix my broken wing from the beginning of the race. So from then on, like after that, I didn't have no more damage. But yeah, I did definitely have damage coming in towards that safety car though.
When you had to replace your wing, did you ever feel like, ah, this could be it for it, or were you just still like, just gotta keep my head down and keep racing? Because always feel like once that damage comes and you gotta replace that wing, it's that heart goes a lot faster, and you're like, oh no.
Yeah, it was a bit distressing. It was a bit it was a head down, and anybody that lose their wing, you never know if your race gonna be good or if it's gonna continue or with the safety car gonna save you. But my engineer he kept me calm because I definitely was freaking out. But like I said, I appreciate you for keeping me like keeping me calm and saying and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, great race again. Fun to watch. Really impressive watching you come from the back of the pack all the way to the podium. So again, congrats, and can't wait to watch you next season.
I appreciate you. Appreciate you.
Just as a follow-up to that last comment from Frag there, next season, news coming out shortly by the end of the week. Do you think next season, you've been close, you know? I think you had P4 last season as well, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe P3, I couldn't remember. You had the constructors, obviously, with Nick. This season, couple of missed races, couple of incidents here and there, a couple of uh, maybe you were unlucky a couple of instances. Next season coming in, do you think you have what it takes to maybe, take that step and, climb that top step of the podium and win races and win the championship?
Uh, God knows I pray that things go good. This is my last season off of controller. I will be transferring to wheel. So uh right, it's
Uh,
gonna be a huge difference.
yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a huge difference for me and stuff like that. So
Oh
I'm
yeah.
still, as we speak, behind the closed doors, I'm trying to, I'm putting in work every day, trying to get, used to, traction and stuff with my wheels. So it's gonna
That
be
is
good to see how
fantastic.
things go out, though. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I remember when I transitioned from controller to a wheel. Although it was amazing to drive on a wheel, it was so confusing and it was so hard. At least the first few weeks or so, until I got used to it and slowly started taking off all the assist and stuff. So I remember, I understand your pain, but what I can definitely say is that once you get used to it, you'll probably be much faster and much more confident, I think, and you'll have a better experience overall. So yeah, congrats on getting the new wheel, and we look forward to seeing you next season.
thank you very much. And I like to shout out to my base league UFRL. Thank you for developing me to a decent racer that I am now. Thank you all.
Thank you to them as well. We are happy that you're racing around with us as well. So yep. Until next season, take care, man, and hopefully we'll talk to you soon. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. That was Speedy Bullet, everybody. Your P3 finisher. Unfortunately, Katya again wasn't able to join, but congratulations to them for a fantastic run in the championship. I think they finished well over 200 points, possibly 50 to 60 points ahead of P2 of Tin Man. Yeah, and I think they lock in constructors as well, Katya and Sween. So congratulations to both of the V-Carb drivers as well on securing the constructors. Uh, with that said, we'll go to our P1 finisher here, who is with us right now, is Surazzle. Hey Surazzle, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, guys. How are you?
Doing great. How was that? We did not actually catch you overtaking Katya because I thought going into that second DRS zone, you possibly lost it. Was there a mistake from Katya going into that fast left-hander after the second sector, or I don't know. Well, talk us through what happened there.
I'm gonna kind of have to go back and rewatch and see what happened to Katya, but he kind of overtook, or she overtook on the first DRS zone, and after that, I kind of came out wide a little bit, and I saw her pull out a little bit, and I was like, dang, and I had a lot of ERS saved up, so I was able to catch up a little, and when I came out of that corner, I just had a lot of speed, and I just kind of slingshotted right by her. She must have slid, I'm not 100% sure, but kind of just beat her to the next corner, held the inside, and then got the win.
Yeah, that was yeah, we missed that because we were like, okay, possibly the move for the win is done, but I was completely wrong, and you proved that. Talk us through, the race. Qualifying obviously went well. You were 2 tenths, ahead of the field. At the beginning, it was you and Katya battling it out. Matthew as well, I think, was in the mix for a long time, and then you pit under the safety car, and you guys had to overtake. It looked like you lost the DRS as well at one point. So yeah, talk us through those bits. And did you ever feel like, okay, yeah, possibly I'm not gonna get back in the DRS of Katya? Like, talk us through that part of the race.
Yeah, so, I mean, pretty much when it was, safety car came down, went into the pit, and then it was the restart on the safety car. I lost like 3 or 4 positions. And, I just kind of had to battle through. Me and Katya just kind of fought through it, and I think we just had the pace on everyone, so I was able to just make up a lot of time throughout it. And then kind of once me and Katya just got past Matthew, it was kind of we were just gone. So, I mean, it was just a lot of just back and forth with Katya, DRS zones, and just trying to keep it clean, no penalties, keep it on the track, don't spin it out, and
Yeah, I
ended
think.
up just
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
go for it.
No, go for sorry.
I was just saying it ended up in my favor.
Yeah, I was just about to say sorry, cut you off there, but you possibly had like a flawless race. You did not have any warnings or time penalties. Katya actually had a couple. So yeah, I think you drove like a flawless race. Mistake or not, you were there to capitalize, which was you know. Uh, that's what you need to do as a racing driver. You have to capitalize on others' mistakes, and that's exactly what you did. So congratulations on that win. Uh, any questions there, Fragley?
I would just say some of the questions. Were you on the last like 2 to 3 laps? It looked like Katya was just trying to stay behind you to really take for that last lap. Was there at any point where you were like during that DRS to maybe like line up to maybe let her by so you could take that P2, or were you just trying to stay in that P1 for as long as you could?
I knew the last lap was going to kind of come down to the DRS zone, and I kind of noticed she was just staying behind. We were still pushing each other, but she definitely wasn't trying. And, through the 2 DRS zones, I was trying to be conservative because I knew, if she maybe went by, I could have that DRS zone, but it kind of she just stayed behind. And then, going to that last lap, I just made sure that I had 100% DRS essentially coming into the first DRS zone. Stopped at about 50, was able to stay within, and then on that second DRS zone, I was able to get a lot of speed because I had about 50 or 60% ERS saved up. So I think that kind of helped too on that last lap and push.
To like go back and forth, like and go wheel to wheel on those DRS straights, or were you just kind of like, okay, they're gonna pass, let them pass, we'll catch up, and we'll just kind of play this back and forth game? Up until the end, or did you feel like you needed to like fight in those corners, especially at the end of section 2 and section 3? Did you feel like you had a fight wheel to wheel, or was it more of just like an understanding of like the pass is gonna happen, I got next rate or next lap to do the same?
Pretty much. I mean, I was trying to pull ahead whenever I could, but, she ended up just catching up in the DRS zone, so I didn't want to push anything. I knew I could keep within it, too, so whenever she went by, I just let it happen, because I knew it was all going to be down to the last lap at the pace that we were going, so it was just back and forth, back and forth.
Well, it was fun watching again. Congrats on a win.
Glad
Definitely
to take my
deserved.
final win of the season. So
Yeah,
Uh,
great race to take it on.
yeah, congratulations again. Looking forward to season 15.
yes, very excited. Cannot wait.
Do you think, I don't know if this was your first league or something like that, but you've definitely done really well for your first season here. Do you think you can maybe push for that championship, drivers' championship or something like that, going into season 15?
Yeah, I definitely feel like I could push forward for sure. So I haven't done any leagues before, and
Mm-hmm.
keeping how this was, so especially if Katya or anybody gets moved up into AM2 or anything like that, I definitely feel like I have a chance in this AM3. So
What do you think the biggest lessons are that you've learned, whilst doing league racing and as the season's gone on, what can you do better for, going into season 15?
I think the biggest thing that I've kind of found was just being consistent, like continuously for 30 or whatever laps, be consistent, keep it clean in the corners.
Hmm.
And that's probably one of the hardest things to do, but as long as you can keep it consistent and clean, I mean, you can just pull away. So it's definitely something to work on and just getting faster. So
Yep, very well said there. Was that your third win of the season, if I'm not mistaken?
I believe it was my second one of the season
Second,
because
okay.
my first one was the glitch default in Spain or something a while back.
Oh, I thought you had another win somewhere in the middle as well. I might be wrong though.
I
Yeah,
might have. I don't think so though. It might have been a 2 or 3, somewhere in the podiums. But I think this was my first like win of the season, so I'll take it. And I think I kept P3 in the championship. So
yeah. I think you are actually P3. Yes, so you move ahead of M1K and BK now with what is that? 115.5 points, I think. I'm not sure if you got the fastest lap, but yeah, you do move up into P3. So congratulations on a P3 in the championship as well. I did not realize that.
thank you.
All right. Well, with that's it for the interviews. Uh, Fragley, any last words of anything you want to say before we conclude AM3 this season?
It was just a lot of fun to watch. A lot of good drivers in this one. So I'm super excited to see what's going to be happening next season. Seeing this grid as close as they are, it's a fun one to watch. So super
Mhm.
fun. Congrats to Katya again for the championship. Taking that last week, so really dominant season for Katya. And then the rest of the everybody else, just great season. Super fun to watch. Um, and we should be ready for next season.
Yep, we should be. We will be learning the news about next season by the end of this week. But before we sign out, how did you enjoy your stint in the commentary booth for your first season?
I thought it was really fun. It's definitely a different way of watching the races and
Mm-hmm.
being able to kind of focus and see, and especially being in AM2 for tomorrow gives me just a little bit of help just and kind of see how the race will play out. So it helps me. It's super fun,
Mm-hmm.
especially to watch my brother winning races and stuff like that. Like it's a
Yeah.
great time. So really fun, really exciting.
Well, definitely a congratulatory phone call is due, I think, for you to Sarazzle at the end of the day. Maybe a gift or something to celebrate his win. But yeah, we've enjoyed having you here. It's been real fun commentating with you, and hopefully we can, I don't know, team up again next season. But if not, maybe some other time. Who knows? Well.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to do it next season.
Awesome. Well, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to sign off for from here at AM3 at Contest to Speed. But the action is still definitely not over for season 14. We have four more races to go with EU2 and AM2 tomorrow. Sorry, at 4 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. UK for EU2, and then 9 p.m. Eastern. 2 a.m. UK for AM2, and this at the same time on Thursday, you'll have EU1 and AM1 as well. I'm not too sure about the championships on the EU side, but tomorrow in AM2 it'll be a close fight for the constructors between McLaren and Ferrari, and then AM1 will have a possibly a Hamilton Verstappen finish. For the championship. So make sure to tune in to both of them and make sure to tune into the EU races as well. Also, season 15 is right around the corner. So if you have been watching the stream and you're not yet in our Discord server, make sure to click in the link in the chat to join Discord, join the community. Next season is right around the corner. Like I said, more information to will be out on our revealed stream on Friday, on October the 11th at I want to say 3 p.m. UK, sorry, 3 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. UK, I think. I'm not too sure. You'll see that in a little bit. But yeah, make sure to join that, and then yeah, make sure to sign up. We have some great racing going on throughout. So yeah, with that said, uh, I am Red Devil, and from Fragley and myself, see you all next season.
See ya.
Welcome back to Contest to Speed.
Contest to speed.
Contest of speed.
Contest of speed.
AM3.